The US Supreme Court has unanimously ruled Donald Trump can't be removed from the presidential primary ballot in Colorado. The court's ruling didn't address whether the question of whether the former president was an insurrectionist, an issue Colorado's court has wrestled with. The decision comes a day before Super Tuesday, when 16 states and territories, including Colorado, will hold primaries and caucuses. Mr. Trump has praised the Supreme Court's decision as extremely important and says it's for voters, not courts, to take candidates out of races.
It was a very important decision. We're very well crafted, and I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs. And they worked long, they worked hard, and frankly, they worked very quickly on something that will be spoken about 100 years from now and 200 years from now. Extremely important. Essentially, you cannot take somebody out of a race because an opponent would like to have it that way. And it has nothing to do with the fact that it's the leading candidate, whether it was the leading candidate or a candidate that was well down on the totem pole. You cannot take somebody out of a race.
Well, joining me now for more on this is Victoria Cooper, who's a research editor with the United States Studies Centre. Thanks so much for your time, Victoria. So, latest in the Trump saga as the caucuses roll on. He seems to be shaking off any of these legal dramas amid voters heading to the polls, though.
Yeah, hi. Not only shaking them off, but almost smacking them down. This is sort of the third attempt on the charges of insurrection that Donald Trump has managed to skirt, being an impeachment trial, this 14th insurrection case, and also the criminal case that was due to start yesterday but has since been delayed in legal procedures about the possibility for presidential immunity. So Donald Trump is certainly charging on ahead to the Republican nomination, and you're right, just ahead of Super Tuesday elections tomorrow.
Can you just explain for us who are the key states, which of the key states, rather, we should look at tomorrow with Super Tuesday?
Yeah, so Super Tuesday will essentially see 874 delegates to the Republican convention be up for election tomorrow. And in the end, at the Republican National Convention in August, 1,215 delegates are up for grabs. So Donald Trump is currently leading the only other Republican in the race, Nikki Haley, to win the majority of delegates pledged for his favour. And so tomorrow, 15 states and one territory will be voting through elections and caucuses to nominate who they want their delegates to represent at that national convention. And so Donald Trump is definitely ahead and definitely seems like he will be cinching the nomination for most of those states, if not all of those states. But Nikki Haley intends to hang on until at least tomorrow's election, and it'll be interesting to see by what margins the two of them are separated in some of those states.
Do you think Nikki Haley will make any big calls after tomorrow's vote?
Yeah, I think it's possible that Nikki Haley will make a big call about the future of her campaign. It's been doing well in monetary terms. She's, gone month on month advancing her fundraising, but the closer and closer it looks that Donald Trump is almost guaranteed to secure that nomination, the less likely it is that funding will continue, and the less likely it is that her campaign will continue to run. But so far, she's sort of hanging in there, saying, I wouldn't underestimate me. She has very much made it clear that she intends to stay till at least Super Tuesday. And there's a number of theories about why that might be the case. I think for Nikki Haley, one of the reasons that she's hanging in there is because she says that she wants to be an alternative, that 70% of Americans don't want either Donald Trump or Joe Biden to run for re-election. And so she is the only viable alternative to those two front-running candidates. And so she's kind of running on that principle. But in terms of whether she manages to win any states tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see. So far, she's won Washington, D.C. She scooped up 19 delegates, but she wasn't able to win her home state of South Carolina, which was broadly seen as the last opportunity for her to really build some momentum behind her campaign ahead of tomorrow's election. So it's unlikely that we'll see anything too surprising tomorrow, but perhaps we will see Nikki Haley drop out of the race entirely.
Yeah, we'll wait and see if that happens. Victoria Cooper, much appreciated. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you. Have a good day.